What's up, everybody? It's Alex Leak and Friends podcast back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Dustin back on the show. What's up, Dustin?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is our first ever March Madness college basketball bracket episode. I mean, the tournament's about to start on Thursday. We got some play-ins starting tomorrow night and Wednesday night. And I'm pretty hyped for the tournament this year. So I figured, what the hell, let's do a podcast on it. I know you're excited too, right?
Absolutely.
So let's just get started. So we're gonna start in the West with the 116 and go down the line. So Gonzaga is a heavy favorite. Gonzaga and Arizona are the two big favorites I've heard everyone talking about for who could win the national championship. Who have you heard? Is it Gonzaga, Arizona, or have you heard a couple other names?
So I've been hearing about 5 teams, and this is from the great college basketball minds like Joe Lunardi and like others, Jay Williams, Jay Billis, Seth Greenberg. So I've been hearing Gonzaga, Kansas, Baylor. Iowa could watch out for Iowa, man. They can score, and they have the best player in the country in Murray. So watch out.
How do you feel about Duke? Maybe Duke winning, going out on a high note for Coach K.
These past couple years, bro, I'm gonna be honest. Duke has disappointed me.
Yeah.
It seems like they just don't bring it in the tournament no more.
Yeah, but maybe this is the added incentive they need.
Yeah, it could very well be possible, but they have a tough road. After filling out my bracket, they have it tough.
Yeah. So let's start off. The 116 is Gonzaga, Georgia State. Let's first do real quick. Let's do the playing games that are tomorrow night. Texas, Corpus Christi, and Texas Southern for a 16 seed. The winner will take on Kansas. Who you got winning that?
I have you said Corpus Christi in them, right?
Yeah, versus Texas Southern.
I believe I picked Texas Southern.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't know shit about Corpus Christi. I've heard of Texas Southern, so I'm picking them. What about the second game on Tuesday night, Indiana, Wyoming for the 12 seed?
Indiana big.
I've got Indiana as well. I don't know about big, but I've got Indiana. You don't think Wyoming matches up well?
I mean, I don't, just because I seen the run that the Hoosiers went on in the Big Ten tournament, and they looked impressive.
Yeah, and then so the winner will get St. Mary's. That'll be a hell of a first round matchup. What about Wednesday night, Bryant, Wright State?
I'm gonna go with Wright State.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bryant, but no real reason there. I don't know anything about these teams. The winner gets Arizona, so it'll be a one and done for those guys. And then your team, Notre Dame, taking on Ron Harper Jr. and Rutgers. That's a tough matchup. How are you feeling about Notre Dame's chances against Rutgers on Wednesday night?
Man, the Rutgers are one of them lower seeded teams, but they can come to play at times, and Notre Dame can also fall flat on their face a lot. So, it's going to be a good game, but I think Notre Dame just has too much power, and they're going to beat Rutgers.
Yeah, I mean, if this was football, I'm taking Notre Dame all day, but I'm a fan of Ron Harper and his kid, Ron Harper Jr., so I'm taking Rutgers in that, but I think that's going to be the best play-in game leading into the tournament. So start at the beginning here in the West. Gonzaga versus Georgia State, the 116. I got Gonzaga. You got Gonzaga?
Yep, Gonzaga.
Now, I've heard this could be a decent matchup. Like, Georgia State is better than most 16 seeds. and they've got 10 straight wins. And a star guard, Corey Allen, who's coming off back-to-back 29-point games. So he's going to need to ball out in order for them to have a chance and keep it close against Gonzaga.
Yeah, but I mean, Gonzaga also has two of some of the best players in college basketball with, 2 first-round picks with Drew Timme and Chet Holmgren. So
Timme. Yeah. Those guys are going to be tough to beat. Gonzaga is going to be tough all year long, all bracket long.
The size that Gonzaga has inside is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're talking about that Chet Holmgren being a high draft pick. And, if he puts on some weight, he's got the skills. Just from, what I've seen, he's pretty good. Good potential. All right, let's go the Boise State, Memphis. Where are you leaning for that one?
I like Memphis in this one.
Me too. I think this is a hard matchup, and Memphis hasn't been playing great all year. They started playing better once, ironically, after Imani Bates left the team. But I'm a big fan. Big fan of their head coach, Penny Hardaway. And I'm a big fan. Their freshman center, Jalen Duren?
Yes.
Go ahead. Keep an eye on him, man.
Yeah, I was just watching his highlights on Memphis. He's pretty nice.
Yeah, he's an athlete. He's a underrated, like a good passer, shot blocker. He's athletic for like 6'11". Like he could definitely play a part. So, I've been a Memphis fan, since Derrick Rose went there. And so I'm rooting for Memphis here, which would set up a Memphis-Gonzaga second round. UConn, New Mexico State. This is my first upset. I got New Mexico State over UConn.
Really?
Yep.
I'm going with the Huskies.
All right. UConn, one of those teams you would always expect to be a contender this time of year, but they haven't been as much of late. And I think New Mexico State is kind of underrated, and I think they could surprise them. In the next matchup, Arkansas, Vermont. Surprise again, I got Vermont.
Ooh, I got the Hogs.
All right, so you got 4-5 Arkansas, UConn. I've got a 13-12 Vermont, New Mexico State in the second round.
Well, the reason why I'm choosing Arkansas over Vermont is because Arkansas has what we call, one of the top 3 best players in college basketball, who is just, the guy's just man, and JD Notae.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm gonna be looking forward to those 2 games. So Alabama, Rutgers, or Alabama, Notre Dame. I know you're gonna be watching this game. After the ass kicking that Alabama's given to Notre Dame in football, you're going to be really pulling for Notre Dame to return the favor and knock Alabama out in the college basketball tournament.
Yeah. I am going to go with the Irish to upset Alabama.
Yeah. I'm going Rutgers over Alabama. So, and if it's Notre Dame, Alabama, I'll go Notre Dame too. I'm not buying what Alabama's brought. What do you think? Is Alabama overrated, or are they not good enough to advance? What do you think?
They have talent, but they've also, had a lot of games this season where they just weren't very good, and they had high expectations coming into the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Texas Tech, Montana State. I got Texas Tech. How about you?
Yep, I'm going to go with the Red Raiders.
Yep. Michigan State, Davidson. I'm going Michigan State.
I wanted to go Davidson just because, I don't like the Spartans, but I'm going to use my knowledge and I'm going to go Sparty.
I'm actually because I watched some Davidson just to see what they're like. Michigan State has underachieved in the tournament, a lot recently. They've had good teams and for whatever reason choked early on. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Davidson pulls the upset here. but because I'm a fan, I'm going Michigan State.
I mean, but Michigan State played in the Big Ten tourney well and had some pretty big wins.
Yeah, they're capable. It's just whether they bring it or not. And then Duke, Cal State, Fullerton. I don't see Cal State pulling off a major upset. I got Duke.
Yeah, I think Paleo Banchero is going to have a big game. So Duke.
Yep. All right. So let's stay in the West until we get to the Final Four. So in the second round, the round of 32, I got Gonzaga, Memphis. Is that who you've got?
Yep, I got Gonzaga beating Memphis.
I do too. I like Memphis. I'll be rooting for them, but I don't see them beating Gonzaga. They're going to be a tough out for anybody. Then I've got New Mexico State, Vermont. So I've got New Mexico State advancing to the Sweet 16. How about you?
I actually have Arkansas defeating UConn to go to Sweet 16.
Okay. All right. So then it'll be Arkansas, Gonzaga. It'll be Rutgers, Texas Tech. I've got Texas Tech for the win. You will have Notre Dame, Texas Tech, right? Do you have Notre Dame pulling another upset?
Unfortunately, my heart breaks right here. This is where Texas Tech beats Notre Dame and advances to the Sweet 16.
What do you like about Texas Tech?
They just have a good offense, man. And I mean, they were a couple games away from winning the Big 12 outright. So, they're
a good team. I like their defense. I think they can shut teams down too. I like what Texas Tech has. So we both got Michigan State, Duke, and I want to pick Michigan State to, send Coach K into retirement early, but I've got Duke finding a way to win that one. Do you agree?
I do agree, but you have to understand how tough this one was right here. Again, we talked about it a few minutes ago. It depends on what Michigan State team comes to play,
Yeah, I mean, we would all love to see Duke, Michigan State. I hope it happens because that'd be a fun game to watch. So I've got Gonzaga, New Mexico State in the Sweet 16. I got Gonzaga advancing. You've got Arkansas in there. Can Arkansas beat Gonzaga?
Oh, no, man. I have to go with Gonzaga.
All right. Gonzaga to the Elite Eight. And then Texas Tech, Duke. You have the same thing, right?
Yep. And I picked Duke to beat Texas Tech.
All right. This is where I've got Duke going down. I've got Texas Tech over Duke.
Okay.
Going into the Elite Eight, which would set up a Texas Tech, Gonzaga. And shocker, I've got Texas Tech over Gonzaga.
Really? You got Texas Tech beating Gonzaga?
Yep, and going to the Final Four.
Okay, I have Gonzaga beating Duke.
All right, and Gonzaga into the Final Four. What do you think about Texas Tech going to the Final Four?
I just don't see them getting past Gonzaga. I mean, this isn't the Gonzaga of old where we're going to see an upset early. This Gonzaga team is pretty good.
I agree, but Gonzaga's got that well-earned reputation of choking. They should, you could argue they should have won the national championship last year. They find ways to lose big games that they shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that Baylor team was damn good.
Yeah. So we'll see. A lot of expectations for Gonzaga to win it this year. So we'll see if they can keep it going. But going out on a limb with Texas Tech, you got Gonzaga chalk 1 seed going into the Final Four. Let's go down to the East. Baylor, Norfolk State. I've got Baylor. I'm pretty sure you do as well.
Yeah, I got Baylor.
The 8-9 is a really good matchup. North Carolina, Marquette. Shaka Smart coaching Marquette. North Carolina, a big win over Duke recently. Who do you see pulling this one out?
Actually, I picked let me see. Oh, wait, where are you at in this?
The East. 8-9.
Oh, okay. I chose North Carolina to beat Marquette.
All right. I'm a big fan. I've always been a fan of Shaka Smart. It's his first year with Marquette. Marquette, was good before with Dwayne Wade. I think that they'll pose a threat to North Carolina and possibly beat them. But, you know, North Carolina is going to be tough to beat as well.
Yeah.
We're both agreeing on a St. Mary's, Indiana, 5-12. I'm going Indiana for the upset. How about you?
Yep. I chose the Hoosiers in an upset also.
Now, St. Mary's is talented. I watched some tape on St. Mary's. They beat Gonzaga earlier this year.
I know, but
go ahead.
There's something about this Indiana team that I really like.
And that's the thing about the Big Ten is it's pretty tough this year. So maybe it's like, you know, they're building stronger teams lower down the seed, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're both taking Indiana over St. Mary's. So that'll be a game to watch. UCLA Akron, I got UCLA. How about you?
Yep, I chose the Bruins.
The 6-11 Texas Virginia Tech. I'm going with an upset here, Virginia Tech over Texas.
This one was a hard decision. It took me a few minutes to make a final decision, but I'm going with the Hokies.
Okay, we're in agreement there. It wouldn't surprise me if Texas wins this, but yeah, I'm going Virginia Tech for whatever reason. You agree? We'll see. That should be a good game to watch. How about Purdue Yale, the 3-14?
I got Purdue because I love Jaden Ivey.
Okay. Yeah, I saw what he did. He looked pretty damn good. I got Yale.
I mean, Jaden's mom is also the head coach of the Notre Dame women's basketball team. So,
okay. I've got Yale in the upset here.
ooh, really?
Yep. Yale over Purdue. I watched some Yale. I liked how they looked. And Purdue has a history of choking early in the tournament.
They do, but Coach Painter has a team to do it, and this has to be the team that they finally get over that.
Yeah, I believe Andy Katz has Purdue going to the national championship game. So, you know, it's boom or bust for Purdue. You know, they're all over the place. They could go real deep in this tournament and contend, or they could go out in the first round. I'm going with the out in the first round, but, you know, who knows? I think this will be a good game, though. I don't think Purdue runs away with it, regardless.
I'm on the opposite end of that one. I think it's Purdue big.
Okay. I really like this matchup. I'm looking forward to this one. The 7-10 Murray State against San Francisco. I haven't seen, you know, Murray State this high like ever, and I haven't seen San Francisco in here. You know, I can't think of San Francisco being a good college basketball team since Bill Russell was on the squad.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Murray State.
Me too. I would love to pick San Francisco, but from what I looked at on tape, I didn't see much. So I'm going to go with Murray State, who actually looked pretty good, looked fast, looked up tempo. And then Kentucky against St. Peter's. You know, I don't know what the hell St. Peter's is, so I'm going Kentucky, and Kentucky is usually a pretty good team, so I got them.
Yeah, I'm going with the Wildcats.
All right, let's go to the second round here. So Baylor Marquette, we got the same thing, or you got Baylor North Carolina, right?
Yes, I do.
I got Baylor advancing. Do you?
Yep, I got Baylor beating North Carolina in a good game, in a very good game.
Yeah, you think North Carolina could pull that upset?
It's very possible. It really is.
Yeah, I don't think Marquette could. So if Baylor's going to go down in the second round, North Carolina, I think, gives them the best chance of beating them. That sets up. We agree on Indiana, UCLA in the second round. That is a really good game to watch right there.
Yes. Again, this is another one of the North Carolina Baylor situations. Indiana is a good basketball team.
Yep.
And Coach Mike Woodson, has the experience to coach these guys in big games.
I'm going UCLA though in a good game though. I agree, a hard fought game. Do you agree?
I agree, and Johnny Jusang is going to have another one of them runs that he had last year.
All right. Then I've got Virginia Tech, Yale. You've got Virginia Tech, Purdue. I've got Virginia Tech advancing. Do you have Virginia Tech advancing or Purdue?
That is where we disagree. I had the Boilermakers.
All right. I think keep an eye on Virginia Tech. If Purdue, gets knocked out early, or if, Virginia Tech's one of those teams, I believe they're hot at the right time. They could go on a deep run from the 11th seed. And so let's say Yale pulls the upset or Virginia Tech shocks Purdue. You think Virginia Tech could go on a deep run?
I do. Yes.
Yeah. And then we agree on Murray State, Kentucky, which I believe is going to be a great game, and a lot of people are going to be hyped for that matchup. Murray State, Kentucky. What do you think?
Yep, I agree. I'm going to go with Kentucky.
And that is where I've got Murray State over Kentucky.
Can I ask you why?
I'm a fan of Murray State. Kentucky, I don't believe in Kentucky. They're one of those teams that seems to choke in the tournament. And I like Murray State. I've never seen them ranked this high before. I think they beat San Francisco, and I think they surprise a lot of people against Kentucky. It'll either be a very hard-fought Kentucky win or Murray State pulls the win. I'm actually pretty confident in that.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. Kentucky is a talented team. They could I could see Kentucky in the Elite Eight, but they have to get past Murray State. I think Murray State will be a tough task there. So then I've got Baylor, UCLA. Is that who you have?
I got Baylor and Kentucky
in the Sweet 16 first.
Oh, the Sweet 16. I got Baylor beating UCLA.
Okay, I've got UCLA over Baylor.
You think the Bruins go on another one of the magical runs?
I think so. I kind of I think it lines up well for them, especially. I think they get momentum if they take down a team like Indiana, and they'll be feeling themselves. And I'm not sold on Baylor. How about you? Is Baylor as good as they were last year?
Not as good as they were last year, but they are one of the 4 best teams that could win a national championship.
Okay. But yeah, I'm going upset UCLA. You've got Baylor?
Yep, I got Baylor.
And then you've got Kentucky, Purdue, right?
Yes, I do.
Who do you have advancing out of that?
Oh, man. This one was tough.
Mm-hmm.
This could be the game of the year in the NCAA tournament. But at the ending result, I got Kentucky.
Okay. Andy Katz had the same thing, but he had Purdue winning that over Kentucky. And mine's wild because I don't have Purdue there. I don't have Kentucky. I got Murray State against Virginia Tech. And I've got 11 seed Virginia Tech getting into the Elite Eight.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty wild. Setting up Virginia Tech, UCLA. Who do you have? UCLA, what? Kentucky? Or no, you've got Baylor, Kentucky.
Yeah, I got Baylor, Kentucky.
All right. In my UCLA, Virginia Tech, I've got UCLA going to the Final Four.
Wow. I got Baylor going to the Final Four.
All right. So you're going 1 seed. You're going a little too much chalk here. You got 2 1 seeds in the Final Four. I don't like it.
Hey, we all have our opinions.
So I've got a 4 seed UCLA and a 3 seed Texas Tech. It's fucking crazy.
Wait until you see who my Cinderella team is.
All right. I like it. Let's go to the South. Top right. Arizona, against the winner of Bryant and Wright State. That's an easy. Arizona should be able to take care of business. You agree?
Yep, Arizona big.
Seton Hall, TCU, 8-9. Who you got?
I got Seton Hall.
Okay, I actually went TCU. Why do you think Seton Hall?
I just think that they're an overall better team and they can score some points at times.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Seton Hall before, but for whatever as of recent, I've kind of soured on Seton Hall. We'll see if they can pull a win here and set up Seton Hall, Arizona. That'd be fun to watch. But I've got TCU for now. Houston, UAB, the 5-12. I got Houston.
Now, this one was very, very hard because UBA is a very talented basketball team.
UAB, yeah.
Yes, they are a very talented basketball team, but I just don't think they have enough to beat Houston.
I'll tell you what, that's a team to keep an eye on for me. I'm a big fan of Houston this year. I like this Houston team. I think they're built to go deep.
They did pretty well last year. I think they lost in the Elite Eight or Final Four. I can't remember, but
yeah. Illinois, Chattanooga, the 4-13. Who you got?
The Fighting Illini.
All right. Mike Dicko follows me on Twitter. He's not gonna like my pick. Chattanooga for the upset.
Ooh, Kofi Cockburn's pretty good.
Yeah. But Illinois didn't play well in the tournament, I believe, right?
Yeah, they didn't play well.
And so that would set up Chattanooga, Houston. My upset. I got, Chattanooga, I believe, had a big win late. I got no reason to really believe in Chattanooga, but I'm going for the upset there. I love Illinois from back in the day when they went on that championship run, when it was Illinois, Florida. But I haven't been a believer of Illinois recently.
I can see why.
Yep. 6-11, Colorado State, Michigan. Who you got?
Okay, first of all, I have a little bit of frustration that I want to let out.
All right.
Michigan finished the season, I believe, like 17-14 or 17-13, somewhere in there. Can you please tell me how the hell they are in this tournament?
Because they're a big name. They draw a lot of a lot of hype. They got a lot of money. That's why. You see teams like that get in. I mean, did Notre Dame have a good year? I don't think they did really, did they?
Notre Dame was 22-8 or something, 23-9, somewhere in there.
Yeah. You see it sometimes where, teams aren't that good. And how does Michigan compare to Indiana? Is Indiana that much better?
Yeah, Indiana is a better team. Michigan was up by 17 points in the Big Ten tournament game, and Indiana came back to beat them.
Yeah, well, you keep talking like that, Juwan Howard's going to punch you in the face.
Hey, you know what? I'll just
you got Colorado State over Michigan?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to pick Colorado Rams in an upset.
That would actually be the favorite. They're the 6th seed.
Well, most people are going to say that the Wolverines are the favorites, but.
All right. Well, you know me. I'm not a Michigan fan. I'm a Michigan State fan. I like to throw jabs at blue, especially with Juwan Howard getting suspended. I got Michigan in an upset over Colorado State.
Wow.
Now, we'll see how long that lasts, that run, but I got them winning one. And they've surprised me before. I mean, I had Michigan going out early, a couple of years where they went on deep runs. For whatever reason, they seem to bring it come March.
They do, but that was with John Beeline. He's not there no more.
Yeah. Tennessee, Longwood. I mean, who the hell is Longwood? I got Tennessee.
I got the Volunteers.
I like this game. I'm going to be paying close attention to this one. Number 7, Ohio State. Number 10, Loyola Chicago. I'm a Michigan State fan. If I got a second favorite team in this, the last couple of years, it's been Loyola Chicago. Sister Jean pushes Loyola to a win over Ohio State.
Yeah, I am gonna go with after doing much research, I'm gonna go with Loyola Chicago over the Buckeyes.
Yep, the Ramblers to advance. Villanova, Delaware. Delaware's in this, really? Villanova.
Villanova for sure.
All right, let's go to the round of 32 in the South. Arizona, TCU. You got Arizona?
Yeah, I got Arizona over Seton Hall.
Okay, I got Arizona over TCU. Houston, Chattanooga. I actually like this matchup. You have Houston, Illinois, correct?
Yep.
Who do you have advancing?
Illinois.
Wow. I disagree. I don't believe Illinois, even if they get past Chattanooga, I don't think Illinois has what it takes to beat Houston.
Illinois has one of the best players in college basketball.
I think Houston is a damn good team. I think they could go on a deep run.
I can see where you're coming from, though.
I hope we get Houston, Illinois then, because that could be a damn good matchup. Michigan, Tennessee. You've got Tennessee, Colorado State. Does Tennessee advance?
Yep. Tennessee is the way better team, which Tennessee is a good basketball team. Keep an eye out.
I agree. And I've got Tennessee over Michigan. Whether it's Colorado State, I've got Tennessee advancing. Loyola, Chicago, Villanova. Who you got?
I have Villanova.
And I've got the Ramblers from Loyola advancing, knocking out the 2-seed Villanova.
Beating Jay Wright.
Yep.
Coach Jay Wright, man. That's
yep.
He really knows how to bring it in the tournament, though.
He does. I've been a fan of Villanova before, for sure. I would pick Villanova over most teams. I might pick Villanova over Tennessee if that's the matchup. Or if it's Villanova, Ohio State, I got Villanova. But because it's the Ramblers, I got Loyola advancing to the Sweet 16.
Sister Jean, there's something magical about her that them boys bring it.
Yep. All right. So you have Arizona, Illinois. Who advances there?
Arizona.
In the Sweet 16, Arizona to the Elite Eight. All right. Do you think Illinois gives them a good matchup?
This one's hard to say, but man, Arizona to me is overall way better. So I think Arizona is going to win by 10.
Okay. I've got Arizona, Houston. And this to me was a very tough pick. This is how high I am on Houston because I agree with you. Arizona's a damn good team and going to be very tough to beat. I almost picked Houston to beat Arizona in this game. Now, I didn't. I got Arizona winning by like a point or two, but in a very tough game. I'm pretty high on Houston, but I've got Arizona advancing.
Okay.
And then so you've got Tennessee, Villanova. Who advances there?
I am going with Villanova.
Wow, okay. I mean, I can't hate on that. The 2-seed Villanova, Tennessee should be a really good game, right?
Oh yeah, that's going to be again another one of those games that's probably going to be one of the best games in the tournament.
Yeah. I've got Loyola, Tennessee, and I've got Tennessee advancing. You know, the magic of Sister Jean runs out against Tennessee.
Ooh, thank goodness. Glad me scared.
And that's a tough route. I mean, for Loyola, you got Ohio State, Villanova, and Tennessee. It's going to be pretty damn difficult to get through that 3.
Yeah, especially Tennessee, I believe, won the SEC championship.
Yeah. And, I mean, Villanova is tough enough. Tennessee, back-to-back, that'll be very tough. So Tennessee, Arizona, right? We have the same? Or no, you've got Villanova, Arizona.
Yeah, I got Villanova, Arizona.
Does Villanova beat Arizona?
No, I got the Wildcats advancing to the Final Four.
All right. And I went chalk here. I've got Arizona beating Tennessee. So that's my first one seed going to the Final Four.
Okay.
So we agree on the Wildcats. Now let's go to the Midwest. We agree it's Texas Southern against Kansas. I've got Kansas.
Yeah, I got Kansas big.
Yep, I agree. Kansas is going to be a tough out. San Diego State, Creighton. Who you got?
I picked Creighton to win this
Me-
one.
Me too. I got Creighton. I think this is going to be a very hard fought game, but Creighton gets the win. Iowa, Richmond. I've got Iowa.
I have Iowa in this one also.
Yep. Providence, South Dakota State.
The Flyers.
All right. I've got South Dakota State.
Really? You have the Jackrabbits, huh?
Yep. And they've been hot. I believe they're on like a 20-game winning streak or something like that. I could be wrong, but
This is one of the best seasons Providence has had in going on 20 years, I believe.
yeah, I believe it. I don't normally see Providence that high up. So I'm not buying it apparently and going with South Dakota State in the upset. And then, if it's Iowa Providence, that's going to be a very tough matchup for Providence.
I agree.
LSU, Iowa State. Who you got?
The Tigers.
Now, you know that LSU just fired their head coach, right?
I did see that.
And I think that a lot of people are picking Iowa State because of that. Some dysfunction in the locker room, and the dynamic of the team. You fire a coach right before the bracket, right before the tournament. I'm going Iowa State.
Did you like my coach's voice there?
You did the Brian Kelly?
No, the Ed Ogeron, the Go Tigers.
Okay. Wisconsin, Colgate. I'm not a big fan of toothpaste to go very far in the bracket, so I'm going Wisconsin.
Colgate is actually one of them sleeper teams, man. But I think Wisconsin just has too much.
Yep. I don't know much about Colgate. I don't think it's a very good game, but I could be wrong. USC Miami. Classic. This should be a football game. Who you got?
I'm going Canes.
Me as well. I'm going Miami. USC is pretty good. They've got the younger brother of who's that high draft pick out of USC?
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I forget his name, but he went high in the draft. They got his younger brother there. But I got Miami for the upset. And then Auburn, Jacksonville State. I got Auburn.
Yep, I got the Auburn Tigers.
All right, Kansas, Creighton. Do you think Creighton has enough to make this a game and possibly beat them?
Nope, Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Yeah, I got Kansas as well. Iowa, South Dakota State is who I've got. I've got Iowa advancing. How do you think Providence matches up against Iowa if that's the matchup?
This could be a good game. Again, it's just like these other teams. College basketball is weird. It just depends on what team shows up.
Yeah, I think Iowa's a good team this year. I think Iowa can go deep.
Yeah, Iowa has the best player in college basketball in Murray. So, and Bohannon and a lot of older guys. They're a very old basketball team. So
that's rare these days too.
I'm gonna go with Iowa.
All right. I've got Iowa State, Wisconsin. You have LSU, Wisconsin?
Yep.
Who advances out of that?
Badgers.
Yep. I've got Badgers over Iowa State. And then Miami, Auburn. I've got Auburn.
You know what? This is another tough game because Miami can bring it with Jim Larinaga. And, that's a tough game. And then Bruce Pearl over there in Auburn is a good coach as well.
Yeah.
So this was tough, man, but I had to choose Auburn.
All right. Kansas, Iowa. Is that who you've got?
Yep, Kansas, Iowa.
And you got so Andy Katz picked Iowa to beat Kansas. Do you?
Yep. This is actually one of the biggest upsets in this bracket. I got the Hawkeyes beating Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Okay. Um, I don't. I've got Kansas. I think Iowa's a good team. I just don't think that they're a championship contending team. And I've got Kansas, surprisingly.
Oh, okay.
And then Wisconsin Auburn. That's your matchup too, right?
Yep.
And who do you have winning that one?
Man, dude, there's some good games that are going to come down into this bracket, but
Yeah.
I've got Auburn.
Okay, I've actually got Wisconsin here. I think Wisconsin will go deeper in the Midwest than Iowa.
Wow.
But they're actually a higher seed, so I guess that's not a crazy take. But yeah, Wisconsin could be a tough out. Wisconsin Auburn, I agree, would be a hell of a matchup. And so that sets up Iowa Auburn for you. And I've got Kansas Wisconsin. Who do you have advancing Iowa Auburn?
The Hawkeyes.
All right. And I've got Kansas. So it's interesting how you have the upsets on the right side. And I've got the upsets on the left side. I went chalk on the right side. You went chalk on the left side.
Yeah. I mean, I just chose what teams I thought were the best.
Yeah, we didn't go over these at all before we recorded. So on the left side, I've got 3-seed Texas Tech, 4-seed UCLA in the Final Four. Who do you have?
I got 1-seed Gonzaga and 1-seed Baylor.
All right. Who advances to the national championship game?
The Bulldogs.
All right. You're going with Gonzaga to get back to the national championship game for the second year in a row?
Yep. And they avenged their loss from the national championship game.
All right. We'll wait and see who they face. I have Texas Tech going to the college basketball national championship game this year.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
3-seed Texas Tech. Now, and you've got Gonzaga, which a lot
What
of
is
people
it that in Texas Tech?
I think they're scrappy. I think they play. I believe defense wins championships, and I believe that their defense will keep them in a lot of games and provide upsets. I mean, looking back, I've got Texas Tech over Rutgers, Duke. I mean, Duke would be a big game. Gonzaga, and then UCLA, and part of that is Texas Tech not having to take on, Kentucky, who could, be a tough team to beat, or Baylor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying because I've seen, Texas Tech, if they were as good as what people are saying, they would have won the Big 12.
Yeah, but that's a tough conference, and getting to not having to play Kansas, or not Kansas, but not having to play some of those teams. I don't know. I've got Texas Tech going though.
Okay.
And then, so who do you have on the other side of the Final Four?
So I got Arizona against the Hawkeyes.
All right. Oh, so Arizona's a 1-seed, so that we agree on that. Arizona, Iowa. All right. And then who do you have winning that?
Oh, well, it's going to be a 1-seed national championship game. Gonzaga,
right.
Arizona.
Gonzaga, Arizona. I think you should go Iowa in there. Mix it up. Get that 5-seed in there. Can't have 2 1s for the national championship.
I know, but it's.
You agree though? Those are the 2 best teams.
Yes, Arizona is a damn good basketball team.
Yeah. I've got Kansas, Arizona. I agree with you on Arizona. I've got Kansas beating Arizona and Kansas playing in the national championship game.
Ooh, okay.
So Kansas, Texas Tech for me. You have Gonzaga, Arizona, and you've got Gonzaga beating Arizona?
Gonzaga will cut down the nets in New Orleans.
All right. I've got Texas Tech over Kansas for the national championship.
Ooh, you are bold tonight.
So Texas Tech, I mean, I just went with what I believe to happen. I like picking upsets, and I don't have, I didn't go into this thinking Texas Tech was gonna go on this deep run or win a national championship. That's just how it played out. The big one to me, is Texas beating Gonzaga in the what is that? The Sweet Six, or no, the Elite Eight. If Texas Tech can beat Gonzaga, who can't they beat? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I see your point.
And it's all going to start with, can Texas Tech beat a team like Duke? So those are the games to keep an eye on. Can Texas Tech beat Duke? And then can Texas Tech beat Gonzaga? That's really the big test. And then if you can beat Gonzaga, who's to say you can't beat Kansas in the national championship? Arizona, they're going to be right there in the Final Four. Arizona, Kansas would be a hell of a matchup. Do you think Arizona would beat Kansas?
Yeah, I'm very high on Arizona. I think they're the second best team.
Why can't Arizona beat Gonzaga?
Well, because Gonzaga is the overall best team in college basketball.
Yeah, but how often? So they are, right? They're the number one overall seed.
Yeah.
So I believe that the number one overall seed hasn't won the national championship in a long time.
Well, that's going to change this year, buddy.
All right. So you're very high on Gonzaga, Arizona. I mean, I like it. I just don't think, I don't think it's common that we have the two best teams going into the tournament meet in the national championship. Usually there's some upsets along the way. So I like it, but I just think, it's hard to predict these. So there's going to be some upsets along the way. It might not be Texas Tech, but who knows? Maybe we'll see Rutgers go on a deep run. Maybe we'll see Houston. I'm telling you, man, keep an eye on Houston. Houston might beat Arizona. That's my bold take right there.
So if I had a team, telling everybody to watch out for, it is I'm telling you, Tennessee could be dangerous, very dangerous.
I like Tennessee too. They could beat Villanova. They really could. I could see Loyola going on a deep run. I could see Loyola beating Tennessee as well as Villanova. But to go through Villanova and Tennessee, I think you're going to be pretty winded to then beat Arizona. What would be fun to watch is a Loyola Houston Elite Eight.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good game.
Yeah.
So
and I would have a tough time with that one, but Arizona's gonna be very tough to beat. Tennessee's gonna be tough to beat. If we get Villanova, Tennessee, that's gonna be one of the best games of the tournament.
I absolutely agree. And so, what is your tiebreaker score?
I mean, so what's like a common score? So if I were to say Texas Tech, Kansas, I mean, now hear me out. Texas Tech, I'm pretty much banking on their defense, slowing it down and making it a tough game. Is 67-64, is that way too low?
67-64? No.
Yeah, that's kind of what I envision. Like Texas Tech clamping down, slowing the game down, and just making it ugly. You know what I mean? Like images of like the Pistons with Ben Wallace, like really slowing the game down.
Yeah, I agree. It could very well be good. And let me say something. So, how did I already mention Tennessee could be very dangerous?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Tennessee, Arizona, Tennessee, Villanova, even potentially Tennessee, Kansas. Those will be some tough matchups.
Yeah, Kansas, but man, see, they're another team just like Kentucky who could have all these all world players and then not perform very well in the tournament.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Kentucky's one of those teams that could go deep. You know, Kentucky could very easily come out of the East beating Baylor and Purdue and get to the Final Four. You know what I mean? It's just will they show up or not?
Yep.
So yeah, those are my sleepers. So pretty much, give me a team in the West that is under the radar that could go on a deep run. For me, in the West, it's obviously Texas Tech. I also like a team like Rutgers. I think Rutgers could go on a deep run. How about you?
Okay, let me look back to the West here.
Yeah. I like
Okay,
Memphis as well, but Memphis to beat Gonzaga, that's a tall task. I don't know if they can do that. But it's more
so
set up for Rutgers to go on a deep run or Texas Tech.
if there was a team out of the West, give me the Hogs.
The Hogs. Who's that? Arkansas?
Yep.
Okay. I could see that. I could see them beating UConn. So Arkansas Gonzaga, man, if Arkansas pulls that off, look out.
Yeah, I mean, because Arkansas has, they played Auburn tough, who they presume is, the overall talent-wise best team in the SEC. But again, they didn't perform very well. College basketball is weird, man.
Yeah, well, that's the thing we love about the tourney is that it's not a best of 7, it's not a best of 5, it's one game. So if you don't bring your best shit for one game, you get knocked out.
Absolutely, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. Duke, let's talk about a potential matchup of Duke Gonzaga. If it goes chalk, the 1-2, Duke Gonzaga. How do you think that matches up? Can Duke knock off the widely believed the best team?
I don't think so, man. I just think that Gonzaga is just too talented. I mean, like I said, they're big too, and they have bodies that are just hard to score down low.
Yeah, I agree. They're going to be a tough out. I am hoping for that Texas Tech Gonzaga matchup because I think that could be a lot of fun. And that's my best bet. Duke might be able to match up with them. Other than that, I don't see anybody really hanging with Gonzaga in
Yeah,
that in the West.
yeah. I
Let's
mean,
go ahead.
I'm a firm believer that size wins basketball games.
Yes. Well, so this is what Ricky G says all the time: size, but mostly defense and rebounding wins. And that's another reason why I'm really high on Houston is I saw them getting after it, rebounding, like out rebounding their opponent like crazy. And that to me translates to a deep run.
Yeah, and I believe I can see why he chose Texas Tech too because I think they rank pretty high in free throw percentage.
Yeah. Yep. Let's go to the East now. So of course there's Baylor, North Carolina. Baylor is a potential matchup. Baylor, UCLA. Um, let's see, Purdue and Kentucky. Who in the East do you think is potential to go on a deep run that people aren't really talking about? I mean, Purdue is a 3 seed, but I think do you think they could go on a deep run?
I do, but a team that I think that could shock the world is definitely Virginia Tech.
I agree with you. Virginia Tech's a team to keep an eye on for sure. I think they can easily beat Texas. So Virginia Tech Purdue could be a big matchup. And if Yale upsets Purdue, like I'm predicting, that opens the door for Virginia Tech. Now, how about Kentucky Purdue? How would that match up?
Oh, that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a really good game. But man, Kentucky just has talent, too much
Yeah,
talent.
yeah, I agree with you. And then UCLA is very capable of going on a deep run. North Carolina Baylor could be a big matchup, but let's say UCLA Baylor. who do you think would pull out that? I mean, can UCLA upset the 1 seed?
I mean, they absolutely can because they they have most of their guys that played last year in the Final Four returning, and they barely lost to Gonzaga.
Yeah. Yep. So the East, in my opinion, is wide open. Whether it's Baylor, UCLA, Virginia Tech, Purdue, Kentucky, any one of those teams can represent the East.
I agree with you.
Let's go south real quick. Arizona's the heavy favorite. You've heard me multiple times talk about Houston, and I think we're destined for a Houston Arizona Sweet 16 matchup. And to me, that is going to be a great game, a must watch game, because I think Houston has the ability to beat Arizona and go to the Elite Eight. Trust me on that. We'll see. I could be dead wrong and UAB knocks Houston out early, but I like the Houston Cougars.
Okay, so I have two teams, and I think come to the Sweet 16, they're going to have a hell of a game. And I said earlier, one of the best in the tourney.
Yeah.
Tennessee and Villanova, those two teams could really do something crazy.
Yeah, and we could be destined to see that Tennessee Villanova matchup in the Sweet 16, and what a hell of a game that would be.
Absolutely, it would be great.
I fully expect Loyola to beat Ohio State. So then the big matchup in the second round is going to be a lot of fun. Loyola, Villanova. And we'll see how they match up.
Yeah, I mean, Loyola is known to go on these special runs, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then that would potentially set up Loyola, Tennessee, and that could be a hell of a matchup. Again, Houston, and I'm not a believer in Illinois. I know you are. Even if Illinois beats Chattanooga, I should be an Illinois fan because I'm a Chicago fan. But I believe even if it's Houston, Illinois, I believe Houston advances.
What
So
is it
that's
about that you like so much?
So Houston and Texas Tech, I believe they play defense and they rebound, and that leads to winning games. It's extra possessions are key. And so I watched Houston. I forget who they played, but they were grabbing every rebound, whether it was offensive or defensive. They were quicker to every rebound. I just believe Houston has what it takes to go on a deep run.
Okay, I can see.
Yeah, so they're Houston, Texas Tech are kind of my teams to keep an eye on here. Let's go to the Midwest. Kansas is the big favorite. Iowa's going to be in there. I'm not a big believer in Providence. I believe if it's Iowa, Providence, Iowa advances. And Iowa, Kansas is going to potentially be a great matchup.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the best game in the Midwest bracket.
Yep. And then Wisconsin is very capable of going on a deep run. Auburn as well. I think Wisconsin can beat Auburn. You picked Auburn. How do you feel about that?
I've watched a lot of Auburn games this year because ESPN seems to love the SEC basketball games.
Yep.
Auburn is a very good basketball team, and they have what I believe is the talented overall roster. They just don't know how to win.
Yeah. Who,
And
Auburn?
Yeah, they don't know how to win in the big ones. It seems like they choke.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've seen Wisconsin. We've seen Wisconsin go on deep runs before with Frank Kaminsky and Sam Decker. So we'll see how they do. I mean, if it sets up Wisconsin, Kansas, that I think would be a great game. And I think the stadium, the environment would be nuts. Kansas, Iowa as well. So it's shaping up really very likely for Kansas to have to go through two tough Big Ten teams, at least one,
Yeah,
at least one. If otherwise, it's Kansas, Auburn. And then you're not sold on Kansas. I think Kansas has a good chance at coming out of the Midwest.
Yeah. Kansas, again, it's the history. I just
Yeah. Kansas and Kentucky, you got them in similar mindset.
yeah.
To me, I'm that same way with Duke and North Carolina. They're always damn good teams, but for whatever reason, they like to come up short.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, it's Bill Self is a good coach,
Yeah.
and so is John Calipari. But again, it just comes to who brings it. And Kansas and Kentucky both lack that mentality of wanting to win in big time moments.
And I know Baylor went on a deep run and won the thing last year. I'm not buying Baylor this year. I believe they go out in either the round of 32 or the Sweet 16, whether that's against North Carolina or whether that's against UCLA. I don't see them getting past both.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait. I'm not usually, as into it, but for whatever reason, I started doing my research and I'm like, man, I'm excited for the tournament this year. So it's fun to do this bracket. It was fun to do this with you, Dustin. And I'm gonna watch the playing games, but come Thursday and Friday, I'm just gonna be sitting down and watching all these first round games.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, potential upsets: Vermont, New Mexico State. I'm really looking forward to Rutgers Notre Dame. That's gonna be a fun playing game. You think your guys can do it?
Yeah, I do.
Ron Harper Jr., he's gonna be tough.
Yeah, he's a good player, but I think Notre Dame just has too much.
Yeah. Virginia Tech, Texas, that's a potential upset. Indiana, I agree with you. Indiana can win one, if not two. I mean, Indiana UCLA, that's one of the more fun games of the tournament if we get that.
Yeah, I agree.
So good shit. Thanks for coming on, Dustin. We'll get this episode uploaded. Appreciate all the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and can't wait to get this tournament underway. Thanks, man.
Okay, yep, no problem.
All right. Peace out, guys.